Good evening, my dear students. Welcome to the today's session, design of column bases. In the previous class, we have discussed about the basic concept of column bases, and we have discussed some numerical problems on the design of slab base. In the today's class, once again we will discuss the basic difference between the slab base and also the gusset base. Okay, then we'll try to look at the two numerical problems. One is on slab base, other is on gusseted base. Already we have seen the last class a slab base. Normally these bases are given to transfer the load from column to the soil. Okay, to transfer that we have the first type of base, that is what slab base. Okay, usually it is having the RC slab at the bottom and the steel column which is connected. Okay, it may be connected by bolted or welded joint to a flat steel base. Okay, in the bottom we are keeping the bottom steel plate, okay, which is laid down on the horizontal surface of the RC slab. Okay, so it is just above your horizontal surface of the RC slab. The base plate is fixed to the slab by means of suitable hold fast or anchor bolts. Okay, normally, okay, the bottom your RCC slab, it is supported by a steel plate, and then that steel plate is supported by your column. Okay, and the connection between the your RC slab and the steel plate is okay by providing water anchor bolts. Okay, we will see the pictorial view of this slab base in the coming slide. And next, the another type of the base is, that is gusseted base. Gusseted base, whenever sometimes the whatever the plate we are providing in slab base, okay, in the slab base, okay, if it becomes very thick, if you are getting the more thickness of the plate, okay, while if you designed a slab base, okay, then what we'll do, then we'll come for what a gusseted base. Normally you will get more thickness in slab base, okay, whenever the load is more than 1500 kilonewton or more than 2000 kilonewton. Okay, whenever you are getting a more thickness, then you will come to water, then we will come to use water, the gusseted base. Okay, in that gusseted base, okay, we are providing the one, we are reducing the size of the plate, okay, by providing the gusset plates or wing plate. Okay, that we will see in the next slide. Okay, see this, with this what I can conclude, the slab base, okay, it is used for whenever the load is light. Okay, for light loads we can go for slab base, but whenever the load is heavy you can go for gusseted base. Normally up to 1500 kilonewton you can go for slab base, but if the load is more than 1500 kilonewton, then you can go for a gusseted bases. Now you can see here, see, this is the your slab base. I told that in the bottom you will have water, you will have the slab, RC slab, and above this you can see this is your steel plate. Okay, this is called a base plate. Okay, and afterwards it is connected by the anchor bolts. See, these are what these are your anchor bolts or holding down bolt. Okay, and this is the your I section, I column. Okay, two flanges with web, and this, the column and this bottom plate, it is connected by water, it is connected by bolts. Okay, if you want to connect by bolts, then we are providing water, here we are providing the one small angle, and this small angle is called as what, a cleat angle. Okay, if you are providing a cleat angle to the flange, it is called as flange cleat angle, and if you are providing the small angle to the web, it is called as what, a web cleat angle. Okay, now in the slab base, our duty is we need to calculate the size of this plate. Okay, the length of the plate, the breadth of the plate, and also what a thickness of the plate. Okay, and also we need to design what is connection. Okay, what type of angle section we need to provide and how many number of bolts are required. If you go for welded section, okay, then this here the bolt this angle section is not required. Directly you can make what a welding. If you go for bolted section, a bolted joint, then you need to provide what, a one extra a small angle, that is called cleat angle. Okay, then we need to calculate what, a number of bolts. Okay, but whereas anchor bolts are the holding down bolt, okay, normally we will provide the 4 bolts at the corner of a base plate, okay, to connect what, a the bottom RCC slab. This is what we need to design in the slab base. The next one is the gusseted base. It is also looks same, almost similar to the your slab base. Here also you have the bottom RCC slab. Here also you have the steel plate. You can see here the steel plate, it is a little bit higher thickness as compared to your slab base. And here also you have the, whenever you are providing a bolted connection, then you need to go for what, the very small angle, that is what, a cleat angle or gusset angle. Okay, some people they are called as cleat angle or gusset angle. Ultimately we need to use this angle to connect your the column, the I section column to the this one. But here the most important one is, okay, here to reduce this thickness of this plate, the base plate, here what we are doing, here we are providing a one extra plate. Okay, you can see here, okay, here this is what it is there, this here we are providing a one extra plate, and this plate is called as what, this plate, it is called as the gusset plate. Okay, this is the main difference between your slab based and your gusseted base. In the slab base you will not see this, the gusset plate, but whereas in the gusset base you can see one extra plate. Okay, so that the load is transferred to the gusset plate, then it is transferred to what is bottom, so that the thickness of your base plate will get what is reduced. Okay, whenever the heavy load is there, then we are shifting to water, then we will design water gusseted base. Now we will see the numerical problems based on this two base bases, two column bases. Design a slab base for a column ISHB 350 at 710.2 Newton meter, subjected to an factored axial compressive load of 1500 kilonewton. Okay, here he has given the section ISHB 350 at 710.2 Newton per meter, and he has given subjected to the factored axial compressive load 1500 kilo Newton. Then these are the given things. Now just here I am assuming the Fe410 grade of steel, and we know that Fe is equal to 410 MPa, Fi is equal to 250 MPa, and here I am assuming the M20 grade of concrete. As they are not given, we will assume the value, and therefore the bearing strength of concrete is equal to what, 0.445 times of FCK. Okay, this I already told in the last class. The bearing strength of concrete is equal to 0.45 times of FCK. Okay, FCK we assumed as 20. If you substitute 0.45 into 20, you will get 9 Newton per mm square. Okay, and the factor of safety for your for your partial yielding, it is 1.1. For welding it is 1.25. Then from your steel table for ISHB 350 at 710.2 Newton per meter, you can note down this all these things, the given details: thickness of the flange, thickness of the web, height of the your height of the section, okay, and also what is the breadth of the flange. These things you can note down from your the steel code book SP6 handbook. Okay, then you can calculate the required area of slab base, means the area of the base plate, which is equal to what, axial load divided by bearing strength. Axial load already has given 1500 kilonewton, but I have taken in terms of Newton. Bearing strength we have calculated, we have got it as what, 9 Newton per mm square. Okay, if you substitute these values, you will get 0.116 meter square. Okay, here he has calculated in terms of what, the meter square. This is the area of your base plate. Then I told that we need to calculate the length and breadth and thickness of the base plate. Okay, let us assume we are providing a rectangular base plate. Okay, let the side of the base be plate be L and B, means L means length of the plate, B means the breadth of the plate, and we will assume the overhangings of a base plate behind the column as A and B. This also I have shown in the previous session. Okay, the A and B are the your cantilever projections. Okay, and now for economical section we are assuming A is equal to B. Okay, therefore the area of the base plate is equal to, okay, see, this is the A is, it is projection along the longer side, B is the projection along the shorter side, okay, from the column. Okay, therefore the total length of the plate is equal to L plus 2A, and total breadth of the plate is equal to B plus 2B. Okay, L dash plus 2A, B dash plus 2B. Here you can consider, see, this is your L dash, Okay, this L is equal to what? L dash plus this A, and here also will get A. Okay, this L is equal to L dash plus A plus A, it will be 2A. Similarly, your B, this B is equal to B dash plus this B plus this side B. Okay, it will be equal to what? Okay, this is equal to B dash plus B is 2B. Okay, therefore the height of the section is how much? This is L dash is equal to 350 plus 2A, we don't know A. And similarly your B is equal to what? B dash plus 2B. Okay, this is 250 plus 2B, where B dash will get from your steel table. So then after solving this is the total area. Okay, after solving this you will get the A is equal to how much? 55.24 mm, but here I have taken this as how much? 60 mm, but as already we have assumed A is equal to B, therefore we can take it this also what here? 60 mm. Okay, in this way we need to calculate the projections, okay, behind your the column. Okay, now you can calculate the size of the plate, because as you calculated A and B. Okay, therefore your length is equal to what? 350 plus 2A. Okay, it will be 470 mm. Similarly, the breadth of the plate 250 plus 2A, it is how much? 370 mm. Therefore, the total area of the plate is equal to what? L into B, that is 17390 mm square. Okay, now we need to check whether the bearing pressure is less than the bearing strength or not. The bearing pressure of concrete is equal to W is equal to P by A1. P is the total factored axial load, and A1 is the now we calculated area of the plate. Okay, the area of the plate is what? 470 into 370. 470 into 370. If you substitute, we'll get this as 8.625. Okay, and it should be less than what? 0.45 FCK, 9 Newton per mm square. Hence, it is what here? Okay. Okay, this we need to check. Now we have calculated the length and breadth of the plate, and we also checked that whether it is safe or unsafe. Okay, next we need to calculate the thickness of the plate. To calculate thickness of the plate, from your IS code class number 7.4.1, you will get this formula I shown in the last class. Okay, the formula is available in your IS 800 code book. 2.5 W into A square minus 0.3 B square whole multiplied by gamma m naught divided by F5. W already we have calculated 8.62. A is equal to the already you calculated it is 60 mm. A and B are equal. Okay, both are what? Both are 60 mm. Okay, then gamma m naught 1.1, Fi is 250. If you substitute these values, you will get the thickness of the plate as 15.45 mm. And we know that this value should be, okay, this value, it should not be less than what? The thickness of the flange. Okay, this value should be always greater than your thickness of the flange. Thickness of the flange from steel handbook is equal to 11.6 mm. Therefore, it is greater than what? 11.6. But here I have taken the thickness of the steel plate as what? 16 mm. Now with this here we have calculated the length and breadth of the plate, and also what is thickness of the plate. Now I need to look for the connections. Okay, whether I need to go for welding or bolted connection. Okay, here I have gone for the welding. Okay, whenever you want to go on for a welding connection. Okay, here I have gone for the welding position to hold your water column. Okay, just I assumed the two cleat angles of nominal size. This I assumed 55 by 55 by 8 mm. You can assume any angle, but I have taken as what? 55 by 55 by 8 mm, which is provided for connecting the column flange with base plate. Okay, this is directly I assumed this angle section. Then the column end of the base plate cannot move for perfect bending. Therefore, from the load from the column will be transferred to the base plate through welded connection. See here, this is the plan of your eye, the plan viewed of your the column, I column, your I section column. Okay, now here I need to calculate the length of the weld is required. Okay, now what I can do, I can make the welding at this point. I can make welding at this point. I can make welding at this point and this point. Here, see all around the I section I can make what a welding between your I section and also what a bottom plate. Okay, to calculate the what is the available length of the welding. Okay, what is the available length of the welding. Okay, to calculate the length available for welding. Okay, that is LA is equal to, see this one we know This is equal to how much? 250. Okay, and here also you have, here also you have, therefore it is 250 times of 2. Okay, and similarly inside this is also 250, this is also 250, but in between you have a web is how much? 10.1 mm, therefore it is 250 minus 10.1 multiplied by 2. Okay, here also 1 and also here also 1. And similarly I need to calculate this also the web, but this also web also. Okay, this total depth, I know total depth is 350 from here to here, but I want from here to here minus, okay, I can take it minus 2 times of 11.6. okay, means this flange thickness, it will give minus 2 times of 11.6. okay, therefore if you calculate this is the available length for welding, that is how much? 1633.4 mm. okay, in this way you can calculate what is, you can calculate the available length of the welding. Now we will calculate what is the effective length of the weld required. Okay, but before calculating the effective length of the weld, whenever there is a end section will come. Okay, here I have taken the fillet weld size as what? 8 mm. Directly I have assumed the size of the weld as 8 mm. Okay, another one important thing is we discussed in model number 2. Okay, whenever the your root section is there, whenever the rolling section is there, okay, you will get the end returns at the all the your edge point. Okay, this 2s. Okay, this we need to minus. Okay, for that what we can do? Now we can see here. See here also you have end, here also end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, totally there are 12 ends are there. Okay, therefore in the available length, okay, you need to minus 12 times of 2s. 2s is equal to what? End return welding. Okay, this we have studied in your model 2 in the welded section. Okay, therefore L already we have calculated minus 12 times of 2s. S we have assumed as the size of the weld as 8 mm. Therefore, the effective length provided will be how much? 1441.4 mm. Okay, but throat thickness is equal to what? 0.7 into S. S is 8 mm. Already we have taken. That is how much? Okay, this is the 5.6 mm. Now we will calculate whether the strength of the weld is within the safe condition or unsafe condition. The strength of the weld per mm length is equal to Ks into Fa divided by square root of 3 1.25. Ks you know 5.6, now only we calculated. You know Fi 410. Substitute the values, you will get 1060.47 Newton per mm square. Okay, now I need to calculate what is the required length of the weld. Okay, as we know that the total loads transfer should be how much? 1500 kilonewton. Okay, and the resistance is how much? 1060.47. okay, if you divide this one, you will come to know that, see, this is Newton per mm, strength of the weld Newton per mm. If you divide this, you will get what is the total length of the weld required, 1414.46, but actually we have provided is how much? 1441.4 mm. okay, hence it is what is safe. In this way you can design what is the welded connection, or if you don't want welded connection, you can design what is bolted connection. It's left to you. Okay, probably in the question you will not mention you have to design bolted, you have to design welded only. Okay, it's left to you. If you want welded, okay, you design the weld like this. You check the welded, calculate the effective length of the weld and check whether it is safe or unsafe. Otherwise you can do the normal, the bolted connection, calculate shear strength of the bolt, bearing strength of the bolt, and calculate the bolt value. Then you calculate the number of the bolts. Okay, then you just show the representation of the bolts. Okay, in this way we are designing what? We are designing your the slab base. Now we will move to the next type of problem, that is the cassetted base. A column ISHB 350 661.2 Newton per meter carries an axial compressive factor load of 1700 kilonewton. Design a suitable bolted cassette base. Okay, design. Now see here you can observe the load is more than 1500 kilonewton. Whenever the load is more than 1500 kilonewton, generally we will go for what? A cassetted base. The base rests on M15 grade concrete pedestal, okay, and use 24 mm diameter bolts of grade 4.6 for making the connections. Okay, here in the question only yes again you have to design what? The bolted connection, and most important is you have to design what? Accepted base. Initially we'll note down all given things. He has given Fe 400 grade steel, he has given Fe value 410 MPa, Fi 250 MPa, he has given M50 grade of concrete. Therefore, the bearing strength of concrete is equal to 0.45 FCK. If you substitute, you will get this as how much? 6.75 Newton per mm square. then gamma m naught you know. Okay, and these are the properties from steel table. Okay, ISHP 350 661 point Newton per meter. You can note down all these properties: the height of the your section, breadth of the flange, thickness of the flange, thickness of web, FUB. Okay, all these things, FIB, gamma MB, all these things you can note down from your the IS 800 and also from the steel table. Okay, and he has given 24 diameter bolts. Okay, therefore A and B is equal to what? 353 square. Okay, you know what is A and B? 0.78 into pi by 4 into your diameter square. This will get it as 352.86, but here I have taken as 353 square. And whole diameter of the is equal to what? 24 plus 2, it is 26 As usual, we need to calculate area of the base plate. Same formula, total load divided by strength 1700 kilonewton. I have taken in terms of Newton divided by the bearing strength of concrete 6.75. You will get this as how much? 251.85 into 10 raised to 3 square. This is the area of the base plate. Then I told that here the most important is along with the base plate we need to provide the extra plate. Okay, along the two flange sides. Okay, that is called as what is the gusset plate. Okay, we will assume that gusset plate thickness has 16 thick gusset plate on each side of two flanges of column section and two gusset angles, and also I will assume what is two gusset angles. Okay, I have shown already in the diagram. Here we need to extra what we need to do extra. We need to design. We need to calculate the length and breadth and the thickness of your gusset plate, and also we are providing the another one the angle, that is what gusset angle, but there it is called as split angle. Okay, here it is assumed as 150 by 115 by 15 Okay, this is what we have assumed. Then we need to calculate, make this correction. This is minimum length required. What is the minimum length required? And we know that the depth of the section is 350. Okay, plus we have taken the gusset plate thickness as 16 Two side the gusset plate we are providing. This will become what? 2 times of 16 plus. Okay, here this 115 is there because here I have taken an angle of 115. Okay, this width is how much? 115. This is 2 times of 115. Okay, this will give the minimum length of the plate, that is 612 but I have taken 620 okay, to take care of the 4 extra the projection. Okay, similarly the width of the plate is equal to, as you know the length of the plate, already you know the area is 251.85 10 raised to 3. If it is divided by the length 260 you will get the width as how much? 406.20 and this is what I have taken as 410 Now let us provide a base plate of 620 by 410 Then we need to calculate the W. Okay, P by A1 and P, you know area of the plate we have provided 620 by 410. This value should be less than the bearing strength of the concrete. Okay, hence it is okay. Then here this is the some difference between your gusset plate design and your slab based design. Here you need to calculate the length of the base plate acting as a cantilever. Okay, see if this is your gusset plate and this is what this is acting as a the cantilever portion. If you, this is taken as C1. If you want to calculate this C1, okay, what I can do, I know that this projection already I have taken as 4 This already we have seen in the previous slide, and here we have provided an angle of 115. This is how much it is 115, and here what we have the gusset plate. Now if I want from here, okay, in 115 I need to minus this thickness. Okay, and the thickness of the angle is how much? 15 This 11 minus 15, it will give from here to here, and here you need to add this projection. This is how much? Plus 4 This will give how much? 104 This is what a C1. And then you can calculate the bending moment for the cantilever projection. The maximum bending moment in a cantilever projection is equal to W into C1 square divided by 2. C1 now only we calculated 104. Okay, W already we have calculated, and if we substitute these values, you will get the moment as 3612 Newton Okay, and similarly I can also calculate the moment carrying capacity of the base plate. okay, which we can calculate by MD is equal to 1.2 Fi ZD divided by gamma m naught. Okay, Fi you know, where ZD is equal to 1 times of t square by 6. Okay, with the unit width he has taken. Okay, with the unit width of 1 meter, 1 into t square divided by 6. This is what is ZD formula. If you substitute these values, you know, because here t is unknown. Okay, here I need to calculate what is the thickness of the base plate. Okay, you will get this as 45.45 t square Newton mm. Now what we'll do, we will equate both these values. MD is equal to M. Okay, if you equate this and this, here you will get the thickness of the plate. It is 28.19 mm. And keep it in mind, this 28.19 mm, it is not only the thickness of your the base plate, it is the thickness of base plate plus and also your thickness of the angle section. Therefore, the only thickness of the base plate is equal to what? This value minus your flange thickness, minus your angle thickness. Okay, gusset angle thickness. If you minus this, you will get the thickness of base plate as 13.19 mm. But here I am providing 16 mm, and it should be always greater than thickness of flange. Thickness of flange is 11.6 mm. In this way, I am designed the base plate. This is the length of the base plate, width of the base plate, and also what is thickness of the base plate. Now the bolted connection. Okay, as it is a single share, strength of the bolt in single share. Here he has taken the NN as 1, therefore you will get A and B 353 into FUB divided square root of the gamma MB. You know how to calculate this. Here you are getting shear strength of the bolt in single share as 65.21 kilonewton. And next you need to calculate the bearing strength. Okay, you know this formula. We have to calculate KB, the minimum of these values. You got it this as 0.5. Okay, D you know diameter of the your bolt, P you know the thickness. Okay, if you substitute all these values, you will get the your bearing strength of the bolt is what? 157.44 kilonewton. Out of those two values, the lowest value is 16.5.21 kilonewton. That is what is the bolt value. I already told, as it has to carry the 50% because both sides we are providing the your cleat angle, the gusset angle. Therefore, I am taken 50% of load, 0.5 into 1700 divided by the bolt value. It will give how much? 13.03. But here I have taken as what? 16 bolts. Okay, therefore I can provide there are two rows of the bolts in each row. Okay, there are two rows of the bolts of 8. Okay, 8 numbers of two rows of the bolt in each direction. Okay, in this way we are designing what is the connection. And next important is we need to calculate the size of the gusset plate. Okay, if you want to see the previous how we have seen the bolted connection design, the same thing you have to do for what here when they ask in the slab base for the bolted connection design instead of what here welded connection. Now the last step is we need to calculate the gusset plate size. Okay, first we need to calculate the height of the gusset plate. Height of the gusset plate is equal to your supporting leg angle. Okay, if see this is the angle. Okay, this one which is connected to your gusset plate. If this is the gusset plate, okay, and here you have connected your angle. Means this height. Okay, this height is how much? 150 plus edge distance plus pitch distance. Edge distance is equal to 1.5 times of d naught. Pitch distance is equal to, okay, it is 60 mm he has taken. Okay, by applying this formula you will get the height of the gusset plate, and the length of the gusset plate is equal to length of the base plate. Okay, length of the gusset plate is equal to length of the base plate. Length of the base plate is how much? 410 mm. Already what we have decided. Therefore, the gusset plate we need to provide is how much? 410 by 288 by 16 mm. Thickness already we have assumed 16 mm. Okay, in this way we need to design what is the gusset plate. Okay, in case of the gusseted base. Okay, with this I am completing the model number 4. Okay, I think we have completed the entire syllabus of your DSS. Okay, in the next coming class we will discuss, we will revise the different topics which are required by you. Okay, thank you for watching. For your any doubts, please post your doubts on your WhatsApp group or in the YouTube link. Thank you for watching.